I feel like I should prioritize Zhongling right now because I do really want him. Hello? Oh, I think it's not. There you go. Shinhye Kawai. Yeah, because Zhongling, this is his second time coming out. I definitely don't want to miss it. With Shinhye, I can try to get her next time. And like Kokomi, I can try to get her next time. I can try to get... And Chi-Chi's always out there on the board, you know? So I could wait, you know? And maybe when I have more money, I could possibly whale just to have them. I will have fun in my court game. You be lurking? No problem, Cypher. God, is this game loud as shit? Oh yeah, I turned it up really loud for Diggy that one day. There you go. Should be better. Alright, that being said, let's just jump. I'm just gonna jump right into this fucking thing. I am excited. I'm excited. I'm just gonna jump right into it. I need to close the door because. $23rd October, 10:45 a.m. The Old Bailiff's Defendant's Antechamber. Is everything set? Let me make sure everything's working. Okay, cool. I think everything's working. Mr. Naruhodo. What on earth are you playing at just now? What on earth are you... Or rather... What on earth were you playing at all along? My hypothesis, my amazing hypothesis. You've been picking holes at it from the start. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. But you're a fucking idiot. God damn. Hate. I know. I get it. I get it. It's a character trope. I get it. I still hate him. But you promised me. You said you proved that tragic explosion was an accident, not murder. You said to keep my precious invention from failing into anyone's hand. But all you've done so far is try to undermine me. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. Yes, I did make you that promise. You're right. I said that I believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypothesis. The fact is, there is an undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there? Ooh. You just got fucked, dude. But if I run through some equations, yes, you see, because my work is incomplete. Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Yeah, how you gonna like... Oh, no. Yeah, get fucked, dude. Get actual T-bone, dude. Get T-bone steak in the freeway. You're right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster, not just as a scientist, but as a human being. Well, no, I disagree with you, Ryunosuke. He's not being over the top. He is pretty fucked. And while we're at the subject, what about Brock? He's being awful. Oh, thank you, Shark, for the boost. Claiming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean? Oh, wrong voice. He's a disaster, not just a prosecutor, but as a human being. Alright, take that back, you fucker. Oh, but no, wait, he's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapien anymore. What do you mean? What a freak. Well, that cleared up. Can I double check something with you? Yes, what? The machine and the demonstration you prepared, they were based entirely on your hypothesis, I presume. There was no trickery involved? I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet, but please, Mr. Naruhodo, you must believe in it. Alright, Professor. I understand. Counsel, defendant. The prosecution's witness are ready to take the stand. Court is about to be in session again. Make your way to the courtroom, please. It all hinges on that demonstration. The professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims. It leaves him as the only person who could have possibly killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Shlomes was adamant. He was adamant. A practical implication, such as it was an attempt by the professor at the Great Exhibit, is quite impossible. Yo, Mickey is an ace attorney, bruh. So really, what should I be trying to prove here? He's a fucking liar! "23rd October, 11 a.m. The Old Bailey's courtroom." Slap. "In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceeding of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready for the new witness to testify?" "The prosecution is ready, my lord." "As of the defense, my lord." "So, Lord Sheriff, I believe that the witness saw the demonstration on the day of the crimes in question was a road rash." "Indeed, they did. As of luck would have it, one of them is a police detective." Wait, what? "So, the testimonies we are about to hear can be considerably highly reliable." Perfect. A detective of all people. Wait, is it a detective on the science investigation unit that was just made? "The prosecution stand remains unchanged. Though it ended in tragedy, the demonstration on the day of question was scientifically sound. And the consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to commit this act of murder is the only other individual to have been present at the stage at the time, the accused." "The prosecution's position is clear. So, bring forth the witness now." "Bailiff, show the witness in." "Yes, sir." "The witness, whose proximity to the incident on the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally." Unequivocally. I don't know the word. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is that? Gina? Why are you there? "Witness, state your name and occupation for the court to hear." Who are you? He's the one who probably sold the tickets to get on the hot air balloon. Fuck is this shit? I don't know what the fuck this shifty child is. That's what's freaking me out. "My name is Bazar Loon. I'm the impersonator of all the hot air balloons in vicinity in the Esperanto stage." "My name is... Oh, is he a German kid? Wilhelm Gottrich Sigmund Ostmend. I have come to see the great... Oh, he's German. He's German. "I have come to see the great exposition all the way from the home in Bohemia." Is Bohemian a German city? What am I looking at? "I'm very rich." Okay? He has a head injury. "Inspector Gina Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective, even Sherlock Holmes agree. I was on security duty at the exhibit and I got up in one of the balloons. It was amazing." Gina, again. Well, at least I can trust Gina, who probably just didn't see properly. But she did mention that she's seen all the disaster from the balloon, actually, didn't she? Yeah, so this person saw... But wait. Oh, he's a police officer. And she clearly loved every minute of it. "There were 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 balloons. Flying near the public experimental stage when the incident occurred. 2 of the witnesses were in one such balloon at the time and saw events unfold from the sky above." You make it sound... God, I actually legitimately just forgot this guy's voice. You make it sound... You make it sound like they were in a cloud. It was only altitude of circa 60 feet. What the fuck is circa 60 feet? Very low. "Well, you can't see nothing if you're flying too high now, can ya?" 60 feet? It's like 18 meters then. Thanks for the translation. "For the court.
Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially those who are the writers for the murders.
Circa these nuts. Goddamn Z. The view from 60 feet up. Well, it was an incident terrible. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. I'm just gonna give him like the most dumb voice ever because I hate him already. There's this huge bang from the stage, and then the next second, another bang in the sky beside us. And from amid the smoke, a cage appeared out of nowhere. That's the wrong voice. A cage, I fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. I didn't get to go look inside the cage, but no one went near it and crashed into the tower. God, I can't shift 3 voices. I can't do this. I can't. Good fucking lord. Can I just clarify something? There's a detail in the witness's testimony that I've not heard any mention until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions? Yeah, honestly, when they said that, that kind of worked. More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places. Yes. Okay, so there's 2 explosions that didn't matter. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. There were other balloons in the air nearby at the time carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. That one made. Then, as the power was supplied to the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. The so-called birdcage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage, and then a moment later, the second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witness. The birdcage appeared at the site of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down into the crystal tower. Interesting. I was very surprised. Suddenly, a cage appeared before my eyes with a person inside. The blast was so hot, I didn't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide. Really good with the translation here. Wait, what is he doing with these balloons? I still have lots of money. I don't care. I am told he is a young noble of the Bohemian royalty. Oh, I bet the Bohemian royalty is gonna get involved. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal a notice. To steal a notice into the great exposition. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Sha, I am here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school. I was gonna give him like a country voice. We will have the benefit of a child point of view in the testimony. Do we really need that? Oh, then I remove my mask. This is what I look like.
I say, I don't like I say.
Yeah, everybody says so. Gods, what is that name? Why the fucking child? I don't know. Boosting! Hey, Cypher, thanks for the boost. Z, boost, booster die. Kevin, booster die. Combat car, booster die. The point is, that's the wrong accent. That is the wrong accent. The point is, the testimony in this witness further substantiates the fact that from the court. Namely, that despite the end in the explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. Already boosted, ho? Shit, you right. Fuck, I am a hoe. And furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the crystal tower where the victim fell. Therefore, only the accused, who was with the Astman on the stage, could have possibly committed the murder.
Oh, yes, I'm going to prove on the matter here. So, the first cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord. What's interesting? I was an incident terrible. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. Okay, that's fine. There was this huge bang from the stage, and then the next second, another bang in the sky beside us. Okay, I need more information, Gina. So you actually saw the incident happen from up in the air. Yep. And amazing what a detective gets to do, eh? I'm telling you, old being a lawyer is Mug's game. You should join the force so we can go flying together. You know me so well. Give me a second. Okay. Well, yes. Well, anyways, could you tell us exactly what you saw, do you think? Everything. I saw everything, because we're up so above and all. That doggy cove climbed into the cave and all that dodgy professor pulling all them levers. Ain't that what happened? That's when there's massive bang and the cage will disappear just like that.
So you describe how the subject's body was decomposed by electricity, I believe.
I didn't know what to make of it. But then there was another bang right in my ear. Look around and there was a huge, great fireball right next to us in the sky. There ain't nothing there before. It had a flame with the cage, that's what. Oh, what the fuck, boy? What you guys saying about that? Excuse me. Master Guts. Yes. Does your memory of the day differ? My teacher at elementary school said that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use their full name. Ah, yes. What was it again? Wilhelm Gosresh Sigmund Ostman. His fucking eyes. He's like, just the 4 names then. The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina's Lestrade's last remarks, perhaps? Oh, get it right, Odo. It's Inspector Lestrade. Why does everyone have a problem with how I address them at this moment? That's not what I saw. Oh. Yeah. There was a second explosion, and it was right besides our balloon. That is true. But I'm sure... Well, it's what I said, isn't it? 1 minute it was nothing there, and next a massive explosion. My teacher at elementary school said that someone else is speaking. Then you are rude enough to interrupt. That you have the most awesome life imaginable! Are all Bohemians brought up to be so full of joy? He actually has fire in his head, dude. This guy's fucking nut. Just before the second explosion happened, next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying in the sky. Ooh, a green balloon. You what? I saw nothing like that. Well, I saw, and you can say I did it. I will complain to the council. I will cry and scream. My testimony is the truth. I am Bohemian Prince. You cannot say it's a lie. That is not allowed. Just playing the blatant royal card there, are you? Typical. It says the orphan who likes to remind people she worked for Her Majesty's police.
Oh, okay, so man. I was asked you to amend the formal testimony in the interest of the coronal relations between Great Britain and Bohemia.
It was not in the sky that exploded. It was a green balloon that was next to us at the time. Okay, so now we need more information on this Cassel balloon. So a green balloon, you say? Are you sure about that? Of course I am. I am sure. As a proud Bohemian prince, all the questions are making me boring. I think you mean bored. English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior.
Raguse. That is very wrong to lie.
Lie?
Flying balloons never explode for the same reason the plants never explode. The planet never explodes. It's so logico.
What? Please tell me that doesn't mean logical. If you insult me, you insult all of Bohemia.
Mada.
I have the army to come and shoot all your stupid balloons out the sky, all of them! You gonna say something? Are you gonna say anything? Oh, gets fucking money again. Easy you go, your highness. Wait, who the fuck is he again? Only all the international incidents were so easily resolved. Now all that peaceful relationship had been restored here in the court room. Could we have returned to the testimony? Oh. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Loon? No, I did not see the explosive explosivne myself, however. I should make him sound like that. Someone confirmation. I found their next big voice actor. You're right, bitch.
Hold it!
Did you see that actually happen? No. In reality, I did not. I saw it after it hit the tower. After it hit the tower. It was a grand confusiness around the stage. I ran to see what had happened. I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. I suppose they are his livelihood. But when I look up to the sky, all of my precious balloons were still there. I saw it all. I saw it though. I saw it slam into the tower after all. I'm a detective now. After all, I'm a detective now. Then tell us what you saw, Inspector Lestrade. That's what I like to hear. Pre-jury, Your Honor, pre-jury.
Hold it!
Interesting. Okay. Was it you who gave the order to keep the people away? Eh? Here's your head, Odo. Oh, who could have been? I was up in the balloon, wasn't I? Right. Well, so because I wasn't available, it was the boss who had to get a leg over there. I was getting shoved and kicked all over the place by the panic of the spectators trying to steal off the scene. It was a real sight to behold, I could tell ya. Amazing. Poor Inspector Garrison. So, anyways, I couldn't really see the cage because of all the smoke and all. And I didn't really want to see it, to be honest. I was scared out of me wits. Keep it together, Inspector. So, the prosecutor really is asserting that the demonstration was genuine. But what if it was actually some kind of switch-around trick instead? That would mean that the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. The two explosions would have thrown everyone watching into a panic for sure. I think I need to find out more about what exactly happened the time people saw, which we have. So it's definitely counterfeiting and evidence I have here because this is the new updated testimony. But at this point, it was not in the sky that exploded. It was not the sky that exploded. It was a green balloon that was next to me at the time, which I have right here. It has to be it.
Objection!
But it's not a counter statement, though. The defense would like to object that last statement, my lord. The defense would have to accept those penalties given. When the authority report is updated 5 minutes before the case. You know what? I didn't press everything. Maybe I should press the first line still.
Hold it!
All my balloons were accounted for. Okay. So there were 3 balloons flying above the experimental stage at the time, understand? See, all of them. All of them. My Bliss Miss Bambini. They are very popular, senor. Some people will pay £10 for one ride. £10? That's more than my annual stipend. £20 a month. That's in my pocket. That's my pocket money. Girls really do have all the luck. I got up there for free, did I? I did. Played the old I work for the old Majesty's police car, you know. Detectives have all the luck. Well, if they're so popular, why would you be operating such a small number of balloons, though? Well, because if I had too many in the sky, they would crash into each other. The operators for the balloons were decided by lots, with each operating manning a particular area. See, and the zone above the public sermon stage is the most profitable. The others in personasos, they hate me.
I did the car. Perhaps we can hear more about what you actually witnessed from the outside.
Right, I can feel you in there, my lord. Interesting. You know, I think The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went in after it crashed the tower. I don't have evidence to back that up, but I do have evidence to contradict his statement. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. However, there is
Objection.
a missing balloon. But I pressed every statement so far. I'm a little confused. Oh god, my legs.
Hold it.
Okay, so I pressed this already. Z, what you playing? What you playing? What you playing? After the man was beamed instantaneously through space, it was mind-blowing, on it? But that's what 24th century for y'all, reckon. The people who actually saw the demonstration with their own eyes really believed they saw something miraculous taking place.
Hold it.
The green balloon, you say? Oh, okay, so this was already pressed. There's nothing contradictory happening. Okay.
Hold it.
Wait, I saw what? In reality, I did not see. I saw it after it hit the tower. So he didn't see the cage fall from the sky. He did see the cage after the tower. This guy personally. But Gina saw it slammed into the tower. Oh, whoops, wrong button. The prosecution. That means the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. That's the trick. Pat, I need to figure out more how about exactly the time people saw. I think Gina saw something. I need to figure out what she saw.
Hold it.
Yeah, okay. Okay. But anyway, I couldn't see the cage that well because of all the smoke. So even she didn't see that it got slant. So even she didn't truly see that it landed. This has nothing to do with anything. This isn't contradictory. Wait a minute. Okay, alright, hold on. Hemorrhage from the wound of a chest that pierced by the heart, and he has a broken vertebrae from the impact concerned for follow highs. And this is the murder weapon, supposedly. But every article on the front page, glow positive from concern. And this is the Reaper's attack. It's the kingpin of the criminal underworld, generally managing to escape conviction in the Reaper's trial. This isn't the first time their henchman has tried to attack the Rodriguez as a result, by the sounds of it. To make you think, if it makes you think, that's just how justice system works in London. There must be dark forces at work. A lost cat. One balloon, two balloon hits the crystal tower. Interesting. Interesting. All right, I'm a bit stumped. So if you guys got an idea, you guys are welcome to. It has to be this. There's scorch marks. This has to be. But this is not contradictory. This is evidence. But the thing that bothers me here is that if he came crashing down from an explosion, why isn't he burnt? Maybe that photograph is the contradictory. It wasn't the sky explode, it was a green balloon that exploded next to our time.
Objection.
That wasn't the photo. Interesting. It feels weird because I feel like the evidence that I currently have on hand isn't contradictory. It's just kind of evidence to back up what he's saying. It has to be this line. It has to be this line. Because this is the only line that changed in the game. But what if I tell him it wasn't the balloon? Then that's not a contradictory. The balloon had to be the one that blew up. And we made that clear that the balloon blew up. So isn't his contradictory? I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged, but your balloons were damaged because we have this.
Objection.
There you go. That's the line. I thought I did that already. Okay, there you go. Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that all 3 balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosives, it would have been terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. Ah, I think it may be... See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of the fabric of the You dumb bitch. You literally just said nothing was damaged. And now you said this looks like a burnt piece of my balloon. Sorry, the envelope? Pardon. This is a large round part of the balloon in which they become filled with hot air. It's made from a very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want to rip when you're in the sky. It's as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimental stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day. You're fucking lying! You piece of shit! If all these balloons in the sky above the experimental stage belong to you, Mr. Loon, then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence. No! What a lying shithead. If a balloon exploded that day, then why did the man just say so? Maybe he never said Boris killed him. Where? Oh, where? Having to spend time by a Polish, remember how awful. Seems to me that the scene crashing 50% of the time anyways.
Objection.
Objection! An instantaneous kinesis did occur, but at the explosion on the stage, the point of utilization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon. Yes, merely possible. An unfortunate traffic accident, as if it were, but it changes nothing about the presented facts. This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Loon? You are suggesting that me, Wario, a liar. Loon, that person died in the balloon accidente. There is no such thing to get fired up, Mr. Loon. The victim was the sole fatality that day. That's right, and I proved it. Bowser Loon is not a liar. There is no such balloon in the sky. It is not possible. Bro, you got royalty sitting right next to you that just said a fucking balloon just blew up. You are literally caught red-handed that you were hiding a body. So you're saying it's impossible. Why? This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day. Aye! Hey! Hold the fuck up. But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appeared to have just not known anything that this other balloon until now. My lord. The defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Loon.
I concur. There is clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. That's a line I stole from Optimus Prime. It's imperative that we clear the issue of phantom balloons, I feel. What? You will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibit.
Ah! Grazie, my lord. Witness testimony these nuts. Mr. Loon's balloons. As I said, Bowser Loon is no liar. Every balloon I have in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an explosive, what a catastrophe! But you can't really get away from the fact that a little balloon was found at the scene, can ya? The corporate at the yard reckoned it probably some debris thrown from the explosion off the stage. This stupid Ragzo was a mistaken. My balloon had the red and blue zigzag stripes anyways. Okay, so if this wasn't your man balloon, then what is it? See, exactamente. Even if he saw a balloon in the first place, I do not like the sounds of it. It's very bad for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, if you attack us, Wiz fights back. It would be over. All out war. It would be war. I hate these two already. What just happened to All Out War? Mr. Loon clearly doesn't appear to be lying. That doesn't change the fact that the testimony and the evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find fault with the witness statement, the court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on my long, hard dig, my learned friend. The situation has clearly changed now, but I have to get to the bottom of this, no matter what it takes. Counsel... Mr. Loon's balloons. As I said, Bowser Loon is no liar. Landed safely?
Hold it!
Landed safely? You couldn't just... haven't forgotten one, maybe. Senor. What is senor? Who says senor? Is that Spanish? Is this man supposed to be Spaniard? What language is senor? Senor. Senorita. Senor. Senor. A title or form to address one Italian. He's Italian! He's Italian! Am I fucking stupid? Am I dumb? Am I actually dumb? I think I'm actually dumb. I might have not noticed if I was giving 100 lentes of one missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous explosions. Do you believe I can make a mistake about something so grand and expensive? It... I took the liberty of having Inspector Garrison check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says out of a total of 3 balloons. Surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for such a mental task. What? Me? I'll tell you what I told the boss. He said kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss bought it and said I have a go with myself in that case. Ah. She called herself dumb. All of my 3 balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground with explosive, what a catastrophe.
Hold it!
Italian? Can I get help on what's an Italian accent? I feel like I'm doing a bad job. It would be a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Lune, tell me, what is it that keeps those balloons in the sky? Are you an idioto? Idiota. Sorry? That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? I mean, I don't fucking know how hot balloons work. It burns bright because it burns bright, and a balloon flies because it flies. What else? Whoa, so you actually don't know. What a fucking freak. That must be Italian for I don't fucking know. There are two types of flying balloons. Hot air balloons and gas balloons. Is there really gas balloons? Is that like a Zeppelin? Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. Where gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. See, and my balloons are filled with magic gas, I believe. Magic gas? Hydrogen, lighter than air, but highly explosive. Oh my god. I think I got it. Okay.
Good lord!
I do not permit smoking on the of a cigarette in any. Oh wait, that's wrong voice. I do not permit smoking in the cigarette in my balloons. The magic gas do not like the fire. Even a small spark of static electricity can cause the entire balloon to explode. What the matter of you, senor? All that comes out of my mouth is explosive. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot be eat. None of my balloons exploded that day, I'm completely sure. But if you say that is what happened, then you must show me proof! Proof! Alright, Mr. Balloon had 3 balloons in the air that day. If none of them were damaged, then what was the one that exploded? Is he looking at me? Is he fourth walling me? Bro, are you the one that exploded? Yeah, but I can't get away from the fact that a bit and a little bit cloth without the scene, yeah? I can ya, mate? I was surprised to find that piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? Nah, I'm not really into picking up stuff off the ground, me. I always walk out that way better, diving into people's pockets instead. So much for the new career path. Mind you, the boss was on his own knees picking up all kind of rubbish from the floor. Thing is, though, the cage went crashing into the Crystal Tower, didn't it? So that's where most of the investigation was going on. Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered up this evidence. Cole, listen to you. You're stumbling across a bit of balloon and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world. Pardon? Well, you ain't got a badge, have you? Like this one, eh? I could arrest you with this if I wanted to. I wouldn't put it past her. Come to think of it, there was a talk of some scorching on the ground of the meeting and all of the investigation. Is there? Copper at the yard, reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. Hold it. There was considerable damage on the stage and the surrounding area, wasn't there? Yeah, some of the old coves were watching the experiment was caught up in the blast and injured. Good job the old contraption didn't kneel over though, eh? I haven't even considered that. It had seemed that there was a great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a ton of evidence, a piece of the envelope from the balloon. Inspector Garrison can expect repercussions. Like me swiping all the fish and chips, eh? The man's a soul of pleasure. None of these matters. The scrap of the balloon envelope means nothing. Ninete. I don't even know what the fuck that means. The stupado. Regizzado is mistaken. My balloons may have red and blue zigzag stripes anyways. You mean the color is wrong? Si, senor. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. And yet, a piece of green cloth was found at the scene. And it's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that could be. For the sake of the argument, let's say that the green balloon did explode above the stage. You could not, therefore, conclude that it happened on the day in question. Why not? There have been recreational balloons flying over Hyde Park operating from before the Great Exposition. Ones could have exploded on some earlier day. Unfortunately, I'm sure you agree. But if the balloon exploded on another day, we would have known.
You were earlier from that predates this.
Si, exactamente, as Senor said, it is not one of my balloons. Clearly, this is the little Ragzunian from Bohemia is mistaken about what he saw. Oh, he mad.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, is something wrong, Master Gott? Is Master Wilhelm Gott Sigmund Ostren? It was on the tip of my tongue. Ja, something is very wrong. I know I saw. That was a green balloon there. I swear I saw it all over. I swear all over Bohemia. You can speak as much as your bad language as you like, but the changes are nothing. I don't like this. If you do not have the evidence, Ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishment. Evidence? What is the evidence?
Young man. For instance, some tangible proof of what you claim.
That's very well, since you just said sooner. I have the photograph right here.
Gracious!
What? I had not been in the room for a while, so I was very excited.
Oh, he has a fucking the fucking camera.
I took lots and lots of photographs on the Cursor Tower of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot El Salah, the balloon, and the instantaneous kinesis experiment. Did you take a picture of that? Yeah, the picture.
Oh shit!
Really? Did you take one? But all I wanted was a ride in the balloon. I was not interested in the Boeing experiment.
Never mind that. Can you show us the photograph?
Of course. Then you'll see. You'll see that I am not lying. That I really did see a green balloon.
Oh my god, it's right there. It's right there. But it's in black and white, so is it green?
Well, I see you're very too shocked to speak.
Yes, I shocking these word, young man.
Ja, perhaps you could not see that is a green balloon from this photograph, but that was a fault of the stupid person who made the camera. Wah,
Wah.
that is one very Bohemian sounding cry.
Wah. Very well, the court.
For part of the blue has been to the court record. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera. Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful septum memories to take you home. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph? Well, it was on the day of the very big explosion.
You don't say.
Then I press the release setter. This is a very loud bang. And the hot wind rushed over my face. Hot wind rushed to my face. That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this a black and white photograph changes nothing. I cannot give a flying fig.
What an asshat.
Lovely language you picked up.
As I thought, Mr. Loon's testimony just doesn't quite add up.
The young Bohemian boy claims to have seen another fourth balloon, but Mr. Loon vehemently denies the possibility. And it's hard to imagine that the man in charge could be mistaken about the number in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something, I'm sure. So we see an explosion right before we see the cage. We actually see the cage. This is pointed diagonal. But we see this. Targeting an empty sack, and this is supposedly blue. We don't know if it has a zigzag pattern though. He shows another balloon. He claimed it was green explosion and exploded moments after he took the shot. All three balloons were carrying passengers. They fell to the ground. An explosion with a catastrophe. But you can't get away from the fact that it burned up in a clouds before the scene. The copper, the DR was free. They say my balloons are red and blue with zigzag stripes anyways. So here we have the evidence. So supposedly this has the evidence.
Objection.
Okay, that's not counter. That's obvious. Because we don't have, it doesn't show that it's green. It's black and white. I think it's this one right here. Right there. It's this one. It has to be this one. All three of them are carrying a passenger.
Objection.
But it's not carrying a passenger. Unfortunately, the photograph Master Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon. But it can tell us something else. Something critically important. What? What is the problem? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
Oh, my goodness. You're right. But surely all the balloons were carrying passengers. There were no such and otherwise.
See, as for the pleasure, therefore the sightseeing, my balloons only fly with passengers. Which tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So, when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the sky above the experimental stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing. Niente. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not mine.
Objection.
Objection. There are illegal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly, one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exposition and managed to operate balloon flights on Miss Loon's patch without him realizing. See, the competitor zone trying to steal my profits. I did not know this because of the experimento that was run on the stage. This fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment Mr. Asman was beamed to the stage below. Right, so them scraps fell to the ground after and I left them scorch marks. They didn't really come from the stage at all, it was the bit of balloons written down. But because no one was in it, it didn't really get no attention. A mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimental stage. This photograph shows us nothing more, as three balloon carrying no one operated by some rogue traitor clearly has nothing to do with the case.
She does elude me, I must say.
The court have seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimonies already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Oh, it's reading a newspaper. He doesn't give a fuck. Meh. He doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. No one gives a fuck. Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up. It's not in our favor. What else could this photograph tell us? There's just nothing more we can learn from it. There's more!
Objection.
But wait, there's more! No, you're wrong! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait. Please don't give your decision. The photograph from Mr. Gott may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that? A vital clue! Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitive now. So, tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove? The cause of the explosion. we can reasonably assume that the pitcher balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion. That is right, that is not my fault. Eventually, because the bird gates from the Kinesis machine materialized in the sky would have been flying. And the balloon, being fulfilled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited.
Objection!
Wait, no, that's not what happened. What? It would...
Requires examination. Council for the defense. Will you highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph of the court?
Of course, my lord. If you would put on your proper fucking glasses, you can see, clear as day, what is shown to link another piece of evidence in a way that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that highly suggests the real reason the balloon exploded is this piercing fucking light, I must say.
Take that!
Take that. The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. It really is miraculous, honestly. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white light that appears to point directly at the balloon. It is most likely a ray of light that goes incidentally on the field. If you look with your magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what is the nature of this bright line is. Wait, what?
Goodness! What is that? Unbelievably, some flashing of lights, yes.
Oh golly, do you think this might be lightning? No?
It couldn't be on a finer day.
I believe we may be looking at the fire.
About the fire and strike out the balloon, huh? Like an arrow.
Do you see arrow?
I appear to be a flame. My word, are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that was the balloon?
Objection!
That is absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground. No flame could have possibly reached such heights.
Objection!
Wait, hold the phone. Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how that is exactly what did happen. What evidence? Dude, he just DO'd me. Did you fucking see that? He just did a fucking DO hand pose on me. Kono DO da. Nani? I'm sorry, I like misplaced the voice.
It was your castle was done for presents it, man. But I'm going to explain this mysterious streak of flame that appeared to be headed directly for the balloon.
Duh. It was this motherfucking crossbow.
Take that!
This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Good lord! Is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil to set alight could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon.
Are you suggesting that this crossbow was used to deliberately?
Blimey, you're right. That streak of old light in the photo really looks like an arrow, don't it? Then, the explosivo in the balloon, it was... That's right. Very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas balloon inside. No! I was right. I was fucking right. This arrow, they shot a flaming arrow.
Gotcha! This is an action, alright, submission!
If the aim was caused to the balloon to explode, then the shooter could have used the gun, of course. However, there is an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. The noise of the restart, of course. That's right. If you use a crossbow, the projectile could have been fired at the balloon silently. Well, yeah, if someone shot a gun off on the exhibit grounds, it would have been caused a real panic. But with the big explosive, there was a very big panic in the ways, no? I don't like this. I should pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all this, but Something feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, Maniponifen? If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued... Well, wait a minute. What you're really saying there is... I don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up in the sky after all? Or what...
Oh, my goodness me!
Now I understand. That was that sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along.
What? Did I just hear that correctly, Kato?
There's no going back now. The horse has bolted. You heard right. There's a fucking oh, he wasn't in the cage. He was in the balloon. On stage, when the experiment was started, the birdcage and the instantaneous kinetics machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. And at that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention to the spectators to the sky above their heads. From amidst the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appears to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you're all agreeing it's entirely plausible that what we just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
This is... Good grief!
Objection!
Objection! This is ludicrous. What you described is no science experiment. It's child's play. It's contemporary display of stage magic. Let's fucking go! Both Mr. Shlomes and Iris said that the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day. And in my case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the Crystal Tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that? If I may put in the word of a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancy can easily be explained by such simple deceptions. Juror number 3. Well, all that would be needed is to be a doppelganger, someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Asman, and having this other man appear on the stage in front of the show, as a body double, yes, of course, and so, in fact, Mr. Asman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start.
Objection!
That the balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside would have been scattered to the 4 winds when it exploded. No one would have ever embarked on such a risky venture. Not necessarily. The explosive force of the balloon gas would have been very dependent upon the mixture ratio. Juror number 4. Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered. A mixtured ratio? Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns, but that would be unavoidable. But not to an extent as to render this whole obscene charade impossible. Whoa, the juror's on my side. So everything that happened can be explained logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it look like it appeared that instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, my goodness me!
And if we accept that this is what happened, then it means that the victim, Mr. Asman, was never present on the public experimental stage to begin with. Ugh. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant, who was at the stage in full view the entire time. Ugh. Holy shit. Yo, I'm calling the shots, baby! Guess what kind of case this is? It's a side case. This bitch might be skirted to the side. It'll be very hard for the prosecutor to counter. Lord Van Zieks can't credibly maintain the prosecutor that Professor Hairbrine is the suspect now. Hold it. Hold it. Who said that? What? Herobrine? This motherfucker, dude. Are you kidding me? Mr. Naruhodo, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Professor? But you can stop now. No, just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry? What this is all about, Mr. Herobrine? I need to take off my jacket. Well, confess! Oh my god. He confessed to falsifying his fucking experiment so that he could get the grant. I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. Jacket, give me a second. I'm also getting really hungry. Also hitting that end time where I said I wanted to stop to go to bed. But let me try to push this through. I, Albert Herobrine, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Aldi Osmond. Oh, he's that desperate. Yes, it was me, my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver. What? No, they gave it a froze. I just got up for a second. He's confessing so that he can prove his experiment. This is ridiculous. I fucking hate this guy already. He is willing to lie about a dead man so that his experiment that can never happen.
Order! Defendant! Explain this to the commission.
Professor Herobrine, what are you talking about? It's what I thought you thought all along. I must protect my hypothesis and my precious machine. You stand there and claim it was all a trick, all an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you have to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it, but then it would all be over. My beautiful hypothesis would have been laid bare. I mean, the indignity of it. This guy can eat dicks. This guy does eat dicks, Cypher. I hate him already. It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. And you'll just let me... Barak! Yes? I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you'll say. I swear it. So, please, ensure the special dispensation of the Scientific Equipment Act is here I too and protect my creation. Wow, he's that desperate. Ooh, pour myself a drink, motherfucker. Delicious.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice for this crucial juncture. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend.
Wait, what?
And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defendant's position in the light of the accuser's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machine involved in order to establish the truth. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, damn, he crushed him. Wow. Any chance of investigation will be crushed and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved.
So now we're at a moral choice. Do I let him, take the crime and punishment of murder, but protect his invention and his hypothesis? Or do I disprove his dream, but save his freedom? What an idiot. I hate this guy. What a that's not a good moral. That's not a good moral. This guy's a fucking eat a bag of dicks.
What is the professor's position on this matter?
What Professor Herobrine, my client, actually asked me was to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. But there's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocent, or uphold the client's request, but see him condemned? Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust.
You've been still, you've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind?
God damn it. Honestly, Mr. Naruto, there's no escaping here. I have to make a choice, but it's an impossible one. I have to give up something, but what? The defendant asserts that the defendant's instantaneous kinetic machine was, in fact... Man, let the man go to fucking jail. Let the fucking man go to jail. He can go to jail for all I fucking care. Ugh! Ah, I'm so hungry! No, I can't say it. His client put his faith in me. I just can't let him down. What must I give up on? It's not the question you have to ask yourself here. What can I protect? Oh! Hello again, Mr. Naruhodo. It's been far too long. Susato-san? But what are you... Hey, whoa, Susato flip. That's her! Holy shit! Wait a minute, why is she here? My first Susato takedown in 6 months. There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Hanado. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Which is working out not what I want to give up on, but what can I protect? Professor Herobrine... Oh, my arms are sore, fuck. Yes. Yesterday, you told me that the scientist is to pursue the truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Osmond. I think you come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine that you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now. I can't believe I messed up that line. That was like such a big line. I can't do that. Oh, he just threw the bottle. Ow! Fuck my head.
So, you finally open your eyes.
What? That racist joke because I'm Japanese, you fuck? You fucking Transylvanian vampire fuck.
As for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer. Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say?
Brock. Obama? Lord Van Zeeks? Gosh, I've never heard him speak that way before. In truth, there's something I remembered that's of relevance. What? On the day that happened, just before I began the experiments, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, shit. Professor, that man had any distinguishing features? What did he look like? Did he look Italian? Did he have a mustache? Did he wear glasses? Was he fat? Was he a hot woman, in fact? Was he a she? Was she a he? Did he not have a gender? Taller than me, and thinner than me, with straight hair. White, straighter, and whiter than mine's. Let me see. One less lens than me, a monocle, a rather stylish one, black monocle. Black monocle? And one thing in particular will help positively identify the man, you see. I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention.
Nani?
He built the machine? That's right. That Mr. Osmond introduced me him a year ago. He's a man by the name of Intrite Deborah. Deborah?
Enjoy, Deborah! That is my distinct pleasure.
Not a name any scientist wishes to hear. That man's an abomination. Wah, not the name of any wah, conjure which I hear wah, either way. Who on earth is he? I'm afraid that this isn't the first tale of this nature I've heard in scientific circles in connections of that name. Let's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turned out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money. When a magician needs a money, I've heard of them resorting to these underhanded tactics. And the acquaintances of mine with experiences of such things have mentioned Enoch Debrer's name before. That man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. That's Enoch Deber for you. Wow, this is magic. We're debunking a magic trick in court. He's been duped. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, dude. So it's true then. My inventions. My great machine. It was just a grand illusion? Considering what we heard about Mr. Deborah's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to believe that this machine would function exactly like my hypothesis predicted. Which is why you were so opposed to being investigated, I presume. I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But, at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trickery than a work of deception, then everything I've worked on towards it, all of my research, all of my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built, and the true nature of Mr. Deber. I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. It's entirely possible that Mr. Asmund and Mr. Deber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulent acquiring the research grant money. Yeah, that was him. When I announced my great invention to the crowd that day, it was my finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Mr. Deber had described. When smoke suddenly started to bellow out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. That's sad, dude. He got fucking used, dude. Fucking used. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Yes. Please, go ahead. I'm very sorry. Oh, there it is. That's kind of a crushed dream, man. A dream well crushed.
Now, we shall not have suspended proceeding for the remainder days of now. Lord Patrick!
My lord.
The court has newly made aware of another party who is involved in this matter. It's crucial.
Yes, Mr. Deber.
Gather information about this man if possible. I should like to have him served with a subpoena.
With pleasure, my lord.
Now, counsel for the report.
Yes, my lord.
When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing, and one thing alone, from you. Evidence. I saw the defendant is evidence of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I understand.
Good. As I said, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning. Adjourned. Goodbye.
I need to check something. Hold on. Something's on my face and it's bothering me. Like 1 second. 1 second. Ow. fucking hungry. Dick eating? Man, what the fuck, Shark? Yeah, dick eating? Dick eating. Dick eating. I'm not eating. I'm not. I am not eating dicks. Stop telling me to eat dicks. 23rd October, 1:36 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant Antechamber. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? I'm, I'm, I, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into my mess. Oh, how did I ever come to this? I'm so sorry. Did you really have no idea, Professor, about what Mr. Debo was really up to, I mean? About what he really constructed? Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis. All of my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it. Oh, alright. In case, I won't say any more. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands, so we must do as much investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. Susato. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo. Arriving late? Didn't you receive my postal card? I wanted to let you know when I arrived today. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you, Runo, so it would be a surprise. Well, did it work? I was surprised, right? Especially when she threw me in the ground. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just so happy to see you again. It sort of just slipped out. Maybe we could stick to more traditional display of emotions in the future? Susie's training was late into London's Victoria this morning, you see. But we really made the coachman really whip the horse hard so she didn't miss the whole trial. I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Oh, having you at my side in court gives me the strength I need to win. So, I'm delighted to see you back in London. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service for you. Of course. So, what brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba not protest? Let's save that off conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? You know, I made one of the most special blends ever for the special occasions. Oh, Iris, how wonderful. I can't wait. To be continued, Susato was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at times, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. That's me! To be continued. Woo! We did it! We did it! A little past over the time I wanted, but we got through the chapter. With that being said, my progress is saved. This chapter's done for the day, and I'm so hungry I could probably die. Thank you all for being here today. For those who are watching on the YouTube, thank you so much for watching this series. It means a lot just by you watching and catching up with me. I hope you appreciate the effort I put into these voices, and I hope you're not offended by any one of them. Take it easy. Good night, and I'll see you later. And for those who are on stream, it's simple, it's clean, it's cut, it's dry. We're rating. It's Drooby Droobs at twitch.tv because he's streaming some classic Ninja Gaiden. So, take it easy, guys. And I'll catch you later. Thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'll catch y'all later. And take it easy.